Happening now, a home in North Portland remains occupied this morning after earlier this week protesters rallied around it to prevent a family from being evicted.
Yeah, the city is calling for a peaceful end to this whole situation. Cor Harlan joins us live near the home with more. And Cor, how does it look this morning?
Well, it looks a lot like it did yesterday morning, Jenny and Ken. Police have not revisited the scene here since they first came out here. Police and sheriff's deputies, I should say, since 5 o'clock or so on Tuesday morning. The barricade is up there. They're calling this sort of an eviction barricade, whatever you may call it. That's what it is, and it has occupied now 2 blocks of North Mississippi here, just north of the main enclave here on Mississippi Avenue. Closed all of that off, barricaded that off. It is being occupied in the name of a family who owns a house on that street that has been foreclosed upon and is in the process of being transferred to a new owner. Now, for most of the day yesterday at KOIN TV, we kind of dug into some of the financial dealings that are behind this eviction and found some pretty interesting information. The Kinney family owns this red house. They've owned it since the 1950s. They took out a mortgage in 2002 to pay off some legal bills the family had accrued there. Then the court records indicate the family got some financial troubles that began in late 2016 and 2017 when the loan was essentially transferred to another company, service sold to another company for loan servicing, which is a pretty common practice. If you own a home, you know that to be the case. But it turns out the Kinney family shortly after that filed a federal lawsuit to prevent the home from being foreclosed upon. That went through the federal court system. It didn't really amount to anything, but it did result in the family missing about 17 months worth of house payments because they say and they claim that they were confused about who to make the payment to. The federal judge that was involved in this case actually wrote some documents to the Kinneys to clearly explain the translation, or the transition, I should say, between loan servicers and the date that payments were to be made to each servicer. And again, court records say that the family missed 17 months of payments and were warned that their house would be foreclosed. And that has led us to where we are today. Of course, Jenny and Ken, the house has been foreclosed upon. It's been bought by a new developer there that has plans for the property. And when sheriff's deputies moved in yesterday to sort of re-secure the property, it attracted this crowd of demonstrators and protesters who have sort of coalesced around this house in an effort to prevent this eviction and barricaded 2 blocks of North Mississippi here. They are maintaining a pretty vigilant eye around the perimeter here, waiting for police to show up, but so far we've seen no sign of police this morning. Jenny and Ken?
All right. Thank you for the update, Cora, on that complicated story. Well, Portland City Council voted to take more control over